Hi, it's Marisa from BumblebeeApothecary.com. Today I'd like to show you how to make sourdough tortillas. This recipe is a great way to enjoy the benefits of properly prepared whole grains in a tortilla. So let's jump right into the recipe and get started. So we're going to start by mixing up our dough, and to do that I'm going to put half a cup of active sourdough starter into my bowl. I'm just eyeballing this. To that I'm going to add half a cup of water, and then about 4 tablespoons of a melted fat. Lard or bacon grease or tallow would all be really good options. I'm doing some bacon grease. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. This is my Baja Gold mineral salt that I've really been liking. Next, I'm just going to mix all of those ingredients together well. And then once those are well blended, I'm going to start adding my flour. I'm using a hard red wheat. And I'm just going to start by adding 1 cup of flour at a time until I reach the right consistency. You want it to start coming together in sort of a sticky ball. You could also do this in a stand mixer. I'm just doing it by hand today. Okay, right at 2 cups, I'm starting to get to a really good consistency. This might be enough flour, so I'm just going to switch to mixing it with my hands and see where we're at. Yeah, I think we'll add a little bit more flour. I'm going to do like a half a cup more. And then as it really starts to come together in a ball, I'm also just going to start kneading it for a little while, for a couple minutes or so. Once I'm finished kneading, I'm going to cover with a towel and then let it sit on the counter at room temperature for anywhere from 7 to 24 hours. It has a lot of flexibility. I always like to let it sit at least 7 hours because that's the magic number for having all of the phytic acid deactivated. But anywhere longer than that, up to around 24, maybe a little bit more hours, is really good. Now I have some dough here that has been sitting for 24 hours, and I'm gonna use this now to show you the next step. So I'm going to start by dividing the dough into 8 pieces. Of course, you can vary this if you're looking for a different size tortilla, but this is a good place to start. And then I'm just gonna kind of quickly put each of these into like a ball shape and then put them back into my mixing bowl to sit until I'm ready to roll them out. Okay, and then we're going to flour the surface here. Whenever I have to roll something out with flour, or when I'm using a situation where I know that the flour is not going to be soaked or fermented, then I like using this unbleached all-purpose white flour from Azure. It's organic and it's not been enriched or anything, so I don't have to worry about those things which are not good for you. So I'll have a very floured work surface here, and I'm going to start by rolling each of these little pieces out until it's as thick as I want it to be. And I'll get it to the proper thickness this time. Alright, that looks good. Easy to handle, be like a taco size. And then I have my cast iron skillet here heating on about medium-high heat. I'm going to make sure that that is all the way up to where I want it to be, nice and hot. And then we're going to cook this in the skillet for about 30 seconds on each side. So I'm just watching it to see when it's gonna be nice and hot. Okay, that's looking good. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. So
No.
all right, and at this point it should be ready to go. So you can transfer it out on a plate. And there you go, there's the finished tortilla. You can repeat the process to cook all the rest of them. You can serve them warm, or you can serve them after they've cooled down completely, and they'll last at room temperature for several days. The sourdough factor helps keep them fresh a little bit longer than non-sourdough homemade tortillas would, so that's a really nice thing. Couple quick questions that might come up as you're making these is, does your sourdough starter need to be active or not? And it doesn't. There's no rising needed, so you can do it with sourdough discard that's been in your refrigerator for a while, or cold sourdough starter that's not active, or you can do it with bubbly active either. So it's one of those great recipes to keep on hand if you're starting to accumulate a lot of extra sourdough starter and you're not sure what to do with. Make some tortillas. You can also freeze these really well. I would put them on some parchment paper in between each one so that they don't stick together, and then you can freeze them flat. If you make a bunch of these and you want to make your own chips, you can also use like a pizza cutter to cut them up into chip shapes. You can toast them just a little bit in the oven and then till they're nice and crispy, and then you have homemade chips. I have other sourdough videos on my channel. I show you how to make your own sourdough starter, how to make some bread. I'll link some of those below so you can check them out if you're interested. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite thing to eat on or in a tortilla? I'd love to hear. There's so many different possibilities. I'm always looking for new ideas. Check out that description box for links to one of my favorite places to buy organic groceries. It's where I get this flour that I use, and actually a lot of the other ingredients here too, the salt. I'll also have a link below to my blog post with the full written recipe and a printable recipe card if you want to grab that. Also check out that description box for free ebooks and other goodies. I hope that you enjoyed seeing how you can make your own sourdough tortillas at home. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody else who you think would like to see how to make their own sourdough tortillas. Here on my channel, I show you how to make nourishing recipes for nutrient-dense food, natural remedies, and DIY skincare and home products. So if those are something that you're interested in and you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out 2 videos every week. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.